Hello friends, welcome to Aduta. In this video, we are going to compare the job of a SBI probationary officer versus the job of RBI grade B officer. I know the comparison between SBI PO and RBI grade B officer is like comparing apples with oranges, but nonetheless, we shall try to discuss the pros and cons of working in SBI as a PO or working in RBI as a grade B officer. Irrespective of what we discuss in this video, I want to make it clear at the start itself that both jobs, whether it is SBI PO or RBI Grade B officer, are really good jobs. Both are kind of lifelines of our financial system, of our economy. I have seen it during demonetization. I have my friends and students working in SBI and RBI Grade B. I mean, they worked like hell to ensure that the transition was really smooth. So I salute to all the people who are working in either SBI or RBI Grade B. So let's start this video. So in line with Maslow's hierarchy, I've tried to compare the job of a SBI probationary officer vis-a-vis RBI Grade B officer on these parameters. What are these parameters? At the bottom of the hierarchy is your salary, which is something you are really interested in, but it is not something you should be really interested in. Then profile, right? That is what is your profile. Then growth and learning opportunities. After we spend a certain time in an organization, everything looks like very usual, and then we start worrying about the growth and learning opportunities so that you can grow in your career. And in the later part of your life, you will realize that work life balance is really, really important. So that is also something that we shall try to discuss. So let's start with the salary. Now, I can speak upon the salary comparison of SBI PO and RBI Grade B officer for next 10 minutes, but I'll not do so because the idea is to compare them on various parameters. So I shall be very brief when comparing the salary of SBI PO and RBI Grade B officer. Overall, the CTC of SBI PO is between 10 to 12 lakhs depending upon, right, which part of country you are in. You might be in rural area, your HRA allowance would be really less. You might be in Mumbai, your HRA allowance would be really high, right? And like this, there are various other factors that can make the difference. So overall, the CTC of SBI PO officer will vary between 10 to 12 lakhs. And for an RBI grade B officer, the CTC would vary between 16 to 18 lakhs per annum. There is some difference between the basic pay of RBI grade B officer vis-a-vis the basic pay of SBI probationary officer. There are some allowances which are similar, like HRA, medical, furniture, fuel. Similar in the sense that they are given both in SBI PO and RBI Grade B, but the amount is different. Then there are some allowances which are kind of exclusive to RBI Grade B officers, like laptop allowance, maid allowance, briefcase allowance, and many others. So that is what where the difference comes in between the CTC of RBI Grade B officer and the CTC of State Bank of India probationary officer. So that was about salary, but I think this should be the least element that you should be concerned about while choosing a job. Then coming to the work profile, which will really matter to you. I shall give you a real life example. What happened? I mean, two of our students, one joined RBI in the same year and one joined SBI in the same year. So after 3 years, if I see this person who joined RBI was doing inspection in the branch of person who joined as an SBI a probationary officer. So it's all about feeling status of the job that you are doing, which matters that what are you doing. So in terms of work profile, they are really, really different. Let me elaborate on that further. In RBI, you're working within the roots of policy making. Now, when I say policy making, it doesn't mean that right from day one, you will be making policy which will drive the economy of the country. That will not happen. But you will be inheriting that knowledge. You will be inheriting that process sometime later in your career, right? आपको उसमें nurture किया जाएगा that how the policy making happens, what are the challenges, right? On what perspective the policy making should be done. You would be trained on all these aspects, and it will take time, and by the time say you reach into your 40s, you will be really into policy making. If you're working in SBI as a probationary officer, you will be mainly into the execution part, that whatever the policies has been decided by the central bank, you would be implementing, you would be executing those policies on daily basis. In RBI, you will get diverse experience over next 30, 35 years that you would be working with RBI related to regulation and supervision. so that diverse experience can be in area of financial system, remittance and payment system, currency management, financial inclusion, foreign exchange management, and various other departments that RBI has. In SBI, basically you would be working in retail banking. If you're recruited as a probationary officer, you would be mainly working in retail banking. You would have some sales target. You might be managing a branch later in your career. There is lot of customer facing tasks that you would be required, whereas in RBI there is no customer facing as such. Right. And if you're really lucky in SBI, doesn't mean that there are no good opportunities in terms of work profile. If you're really lucky, if you're really intelligent, you can clear some certifications, you have good relations, then you will be lucky to get the following profiles like working in treasury, investment banking, forex, risk, audit. These are also the profiles one can get into, but it's not easy. These are not the main profiles you will be put into directly. You will have to work hard to earn these profiles while working as an SBI probationary officer. Regarding rural and urban postings, guys, in RBI, the postings are mainly urban or always urban, I would say. You would be posted in the capital cities of the states. In SBI, there can be rural postings, right? It happens because a lot of banks, uh, SBI itself is having branches in the rural areas and you might be posted there, right? So this was with respect to postings, though I would really want to clarify that there is a myth or a misconception that rural posting is really bad. I think it's not really bad for your career. If you are into a rural posting, you will get so much insight into how our rural economy is working. What are the challenges in the rural economy? What are people apprehensive of? What are the challenges of the people with respect to opening their bank accounts or operating their bank accounts? So if you take that as an opportunity when you are posted in a rural area and learn from it, I can assure you, you will get much growth in your career than otherwise if you would not have worked in the rural area, because there are very less people who really admire working in rural area, who really have their learnings from the rural areas. With respect to transfers, though, I would say there is no policy written on paper when it comes to RBI, but normally what happens is if you are working in a regional office in the capital state of any in the capital city of any state, you will be transferred once in 3 to 5 years. So minimum one transfer will happen between 3 to 5 years. It can happen earlier also, but between 3 to 5 years, at least one transfer would happen if you're working in RO or a capital state of any city. Sorry, capital city of any state. If you're working in head office at Mumbai, then mostly people stay there for 7 years and then they are transferred. And if you're working in any other location from HO, that is headquarter at Mumbai, or head office at Mumbai, then your second transfer most of the times would be in Mumbai, right? So if say initially you are posted in Lucknow, then when you are transferred from Lucknow, most of the cases it happens that you will be transferred in your second transfer to the head office in Mumbai, where you will be for next 7 years. In SBI, normally one can remain in the same branch or in the same location for 3 years after which they are posted or transferred, I would say. Right. So this is with respect to transfers. I would not say that there is much difference, right? What it means is that you have to be ready while working in RBI or SBI, that you need to move on, right? Every 5 6 years you need to move on. You need to go to a new place. So that would be challenging, but that would also be a good learning opportunity for you guys. Then with respect to brand, now I mean, see, brand itself originates from the kind of work people are doing there, the kind of work culture they have there. So, brand is not something that is made overnight, or it is something that no, that is created without a solid foundation. So when it comes to RBI, since the work profile, since the responsibilities, since the people working there are really much better than as compared to SBI. So in terms of brand, I would say RBI is a much bigger brand than SBI. RBI has a global recognition. If you are in say London, if you are in US and you say that you're working in Reserve Bank of India, most of the people would know that Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of India. Right. So it's like I would say RBI is like Samsung, which is globally renowned brand, whereas SBI is kind of Micromax, which is not that globally renowned brand, though it is also a good brand in itself. Then, in terms of growth and learning opportunities, since in SBI I told you if your work profile is managing a branch, if your work profile is meeting your sales target, opening accounts, servicing customers, then obviously there would not be much learning opportunities, right? They would be, but they would be less as compared to what you will learn in RBI with respect to regulations, with respect to policy making. The learning there would be much better, and the learning that you would get in RBI is in great demand in the market. I know various people who have worked in RBI say for some years and then they have shifted to private sector and they have got huge salaries, huge salaries. But most of the people do not leave RBI because again it's a brand. Uh, you love that brand. You kind of endorse it that I work in RBI. You take proud in working with RBI, right? Then sabbatical study leave. Now, this is the most common question that we get from students that what is the policy of RBI with respect to sabbatical or study leave? So, in case you want to study further after joining RBI, there is a Golden Jubilee Scholarship Program, right? Golden Jubilee Scholarship Program through which you will not only get study leave to study abroad in some a good institution, but you will also get scholarship that RBI will also fund your fees to study in that foreign institution. But can anybody get this sabbatical or study leave? The answer is no. Only few selected people will get it. There is a process in RBI through which you have to apply, and then they will select you based upon your credentials, based upon your interview. It's not an easy process, it's a very tough process, but at least you have an option where if you get scholarship, you do not only get study leave, you do not only get to study further in a good institution abroad, but they will also fund your fees. Sounds good, right? Then work life balance, really something something really important. This you might not realize at this part of your career when you are vying for a job, you will be ready to work like hell, like, but you just want a job. But let me tell you, work life balance is something really important in the later part of your career. When you get married, when you have kids, you will realize that how much important it is in your life. So if I compare RBI and SBI with respect to work life balance, in RBI there is less stress. Less stress doesn't mean that you will not have stress. At times there would be deadlines. But since it is a regulatory body of India, there is no public dealing involved, there is no sales target. So the stress would be there, but it would be different. I mean, if you have to do your work, you might stay in office late, okay, you can complete your work, right? You will not feel helpless if you're not able to meet your targets. If you will not feel helpless if you have to deal with customers you're not able to deal with. So that kind of stress is not there in RBI as compared to what is there in State Bank of India. So there is public dealing, there is sales targets, right? If you're managing a branch, there would be some challenges, so there would be stress, and at sometimes you will feel that it is out of your hands to manage that, right? Then work timings in RBI 9 to 5, right? Most of the people work only in these hours, they leave after this. There are some people who would love to stay behind, but normally that's not the culture. Whereas the work timings in a State Bank of India, or for that matter, any bank, public sector bank or private bank also, I would say in India, the public dealings are till around 4 to 5, but after that you have to do a lot of administrative work, right? I mean, reconciliation of accounts, a lot of paperwork and etc. So the working hours get extended beyond 9 to 5. That's a very normal phenomenon. In RBI, weekends, that is Saturday and Sunday, are off, so you can relax with your family, you can enjoy your time. In State Bank of India, or for that matter, any other bank, weekends only alternate Saturdays are off, Sundays are anyways off. Plus, in RBI, you get a lot of facilities. Many of the offices are having some good gyms, some good canteens. Doctors also sits within the premises of the offices, so that if you can, if you are having any problem, you can get your checkup. The medicines are free. So these are some of the fringe benefits I would say that you would get in RBI, which might not be available in State Bank of India. Now, there are some areas where SBI has an advantage also. It's not about that no RBI is just a posh job that no that it doesn't have any negative point. There are areas where SBI has an advantage. Uh, First, in terms of foreign postings. In SBI, at initial time of your career itself, some people are lucky to get foreign postings where they are basically posted in the branches which are abroad. For example, SBI has a branch in London, right? And this can happen in the initial part of your career itself. In RBI also there are foreign postings, but you will only be able to get them at a later part of your career when you are in a very senior position. Then in SBI, I mean, if you want to contribute to the nation, you will get a lot of opportunities in terms of public service by servicing people in the unbanked areas or underbanked areas, right? So there you will have a lot of opportunities. In SBI also you are contributing to our country by making policies which are helpful for the people, but you will not be in a direct contact with the public while doing any kind of that work, right? In SBI there is also an additional advantage that at some part of your career, very initially, you will be managing a branch. You will be taking your decisions independently. Whereas in RBI, most of the times, especially during the initial part of your career, you will be working under the supervision of management. Right. You will have some freedom to do your work, but the major decisions would be taken by the management. Unlike in SBI, where if you are a branch manager, you will have full freedom, full responsibility, and full power to execute things. So there, maybe you will grow as an individual if you're working as a branch manager, handling the branch independently, taking the decisions independently. Right. So these are some of the areas where SBI, I would say, has an advantage over RBI Grade B officer. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I hope this will make it clear what is the difference between job of a SBI probationary officer and RBI grade B officer. In case you have any query, you can email us at hello@edutab.co.in, or you can call us at 81462 07241. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.